a beautiful morning here in the city of Lagos, and it's time for your #1 premium family television show.
You know how we do it. As always, we have a variety of top-notch television content for your viewing pleasure.
Indeed, you are always #1 in our minds,
Numero uno.
our hearts. And that's why we are here, yes, to guarantee you the end of the show you'll have a wide smile on your face. My name is Mary Basha Alimi.
And I am Mike Messikeno. You can stream with us live at tvcentertainment.tv, and on Facebook, it's at TVC Connect.
Now send in your comments on social media with the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
You can also download our app. It's available on both Android and iOS stores. You can watch us and interact with us anywhere in the world once you have internet connection.
Indeed. Okay, so we're going straight to the highlights.
Yeah. Musical performance of the day. We have a singer, songwriter, Testimony Jaga, who is here to perform Jehovah Dua.
And on health, we have Dr. Olalekan Ojo, a consultant nephrologist who will be talking about kidney complications arising from diabetes disease.
On DIY today, Luchi Neoma Anyim will be joining us and showing us how to make a handbag.
Interesting. All right, for the latest just making the rounds in entertainment, Mike will be joined by entertainment journalist and OAP Amal Cash.
Yep, that's Jack Dorsey. And then on parenting, we have Biodun Odunukwe, a parent, teen coach, and family life practitioner, to talk about becoming a redefined parent.
Now, for yet another musical performance and, of course, a chat is first runner-up of Nigerian Idol Season 1, singer-songwriter Naomi Mac Palladini. Music
As someone would say, packed show.
Yeah, packed show.
Music.
Indeed.
Why did you say music business? What came into your mind?
Because you see a lot of these talents, they're struggling to put things in order. And for a very long time, it continues that way, that things just aren't sinking for them. Just some months back, some folks called out Olawale.
Okay, yeah.
Also
Project
from
winner.
Project Fame as well.
Okay.
And the reason it was being called out in quotes was because he was driving I think one of those paid
Cab
cabs.
hailing services.
And people were like, oh, he's doing this. And I'm like, somebody's trying to make ends meet.
Which I wouldn't mind doing anyways.
I don't see
Seriously,
it as
if
a
we
big
can,
deal.
if I want to chill and say, okay, I
Weekend
want to
care.
make some... No, okay, so if I work during the weekdays, and I mean, I'm talking about me now, in this state now, and say, okay, weekends, Saturday and Sunday, I want to do some ride-hailing service and all of that.
Do you know where I'll even start from? Monday through to Friday. There's this one that says,
So how do you work
find
it?
somebody to join your ride.
Okay, yes.
That one, you will join my ride when I'm coming to work.
Okay.
You will join my ride when
you're
I'm going
back.
home. That's still small change for Phil. And then the weekends, you go out and...
I mean, for me, if it was not the bad state of the roads and all of that, I think that's something a lot of people would do. I personally don't mind. Like, if you see me if you hit a ride and you see me, man, we just have fun, catch up and all that. Just give you correct chilling and then we drop it. So it's no big deal, man.
It makes a lot of sense.
It's no big deal. Seriously, it's no big deal. So don't, the unnecessary pressure on some people you call celebs, because of definitely, no, I'm not a celeb. Some people you call celebs, that pressure you put on them, it wants to break their head. But people like us, or Benny, push you pressure, we push it back to you.
You see, this issue of
we
pressure,
we don't get it.
It's another thing entirely on its own. I wonder why people fall, under pressure.
It's not easy, Mary.
I know it takes
Forget that
a
you
lot,
are insulated and maybe the way you grew up, it helped you, but man, it can be mad. It can be mad.
I actually struggle to understand it though.
You're looking for validation from the public, and when you leave off validation, when it stops coming and all of that, there's that thing to keep up with the Joneses. Man, it really can be a problem. Even some people who felt that pressure was not going to be a defining factor in their lives, it gradually starts becoming, okay, so they see a friend. You know how it starts now. My friend, we've been together. I'm this old. I've not achieved this. I've not got married. I'm not this, that. I've not bought a house. I've not done that and all of that. So that kind of thing, it gets to you. So yeah, I think, from the beginning phase, when it starts creeping in, when you have the need to compare, when you have the need to juxtapose your life with someone else's life, at the beginning point, whatever point, get that thought off your mind, because that's where it starts.
Well, it's different strokes for different folks anyway. But pressure, when it comes to people dictating your life for you, I don't think it's something many of us should allow. And then, you mentioned the accommodation, like you've not bought a house. Why is it that so many of we young people, I'm going to say we young people, are not taking advantage of mortgage? I've observed it.
When you are not used to mortgage in this country,
it's something that it's actually something that so many of us should take advantage of, because those offices, glamorous, lovely stuff, they are just waiting for young people to come in and say, you know what, I want to take a mortgage. I went to I think either the Lagos building or the Federal, and I'm not sure, about 2 years ago, because you read a lot of stories, and then you talk to some of your friends abroad, and they're like, I bought my first house. Of course, it's mortgage. So I decided to go and make inquiries.
Okay.
And I got there, and they're like, okay, how much do you earn? They're like, okay, when your salary gets to this amount, maybe you might want to come back, because I wanted something like a 3-bedroom apartment. And I was told that with my salary, all I can get is self-confidence.
Say with pride.
A studio apartment was what I'm able to get.
A fully detached, self-contained bungalow. In what area? Depends on the area too. Self-contained in Lekki.
Even the area they gave me made me know that I need to work more.
Self-contained in Lekki and self-contained in Kokomaiko are two different things. But you see, you mentioned something. You see, for mortgage to work, people have to have consistent salary, consistent income.
Yeah.
And that's where the major problem is with us here. I mean, you have a lot of young people who are entrepreneurs, and when you are an entrepreneur, it's a problem getting a mortgage.
Because you're not sure of where
you're not sure where the next month is going to come from and all of that. So that is why the mortgage system, it's
But the payments plan is actually very good, which is why you're told to have a certain amount. Like I believe they cannot take more than, I think, about 20 or 30% of your salary. There should be a limit. To be something that, okay, let's say you're earning 100,000, you decide to go for a 1-bedroom apartment. They cannot take more than 20 to 30,000 from your salary, and it's something you're going to pay for over a period of up to 15. I think in some aspect up to 30 years.
Yes, there's someone that even told me yesterday that
it's like paying rent.
Sometimes it's 30 years or before you get to 60, whichever comes first. So it does work.
You don't have to pay rent, and at the end of the payment, the house is yours.
It's yours.
So these are things I feel many young people should embrace and actually consider.
So yes, consider it. But let's first of all solve unemployment, man. The rate is just too high. When somebody has not had breakfast, especially you're thinking of mortgage, when that's too far. When it comes to Maslow's hierarchy, when the hierarchy of basic needs, the first thing is food.
But you know something.
Wear clothes. Then so where shelter, mortgage is number 3.
Mike, the number
that's where it comes in. So whenever I chop, problem with it.
Mike, the number of people who are unemployed, according to statistics, are actually lower than the people that are actually not having anything at all.
Wait,
and I'm having okay, let me explain.
So you might not have time. We have to go for news.
You say you're unemployed.
Okay.
You say you're unemployed.
Okay.
Of course, we know you're employed now.
Okay.
But you have different things you're doing to make money that you're even making more than those who go for 9 to 5 jobs.
Okay.
And yet, when they say unemployed people, you write your name on it. We need to start being honest.
Okay. All right. On that note, we have to take the news this morning. I'm Mike Mesikeno. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission has identified flashpoints in Kogi State and mapped out strategies to forestall violence ahead of the 16th of November governorship election. Chairman of the Electoral Agency, Mahmoud Yakubu, says an internal risk assessment has been conducted in the state he terms politically volatile. Senior political correspondent Ayodele Ozubakun reports.
As over 1 million registered voters across 21 local government areas in the confluent states of Kogi, north-central Nigeria, get ready to vote in the governorship election and a senatorial run in Kogi West, security remains the major concern to stakeholders. A crew spotted men from the police special forces and mobile policemen already drafted across the states. According to the State Commissioner of Police, 35,000 policemen will be on duty across the 3 senatorial districts on Saturday.
We are not just start deploying people from Lokoja to Kaba. We have mobile men station in Kaba to respond to any crisis. We have mobile men station in Esandu to respond to any crisis. We have mobile men station in Okene to respond to any crisis. So this is the strategy adopted.
Activities at the state headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, are also in top gear. 6 resident electoral commissioners drawn from neighboring states are already in the capital, Lokoja, to complement efforts of the state electoral officer.
We've set up our racks, we've trained our artwork staff. All we're waiting for now is to receive the ballot materials from Abuja. And the ones that is done, we'll move them to the local government headquarters and we'll prepare for the election. Voting starts at 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And voters should turn out and vote. If they want to stay around, they can stay around, of course, at a distance to watch what is going on. But most importantly, they should remain peaceful and should also not sell their votes. And for those who want to buy them.
INEC security agencies led by the Inspector General of Police and candidates from the 24 political parties contesting the election are expected to participate in the final stakeholders meeting on Tuesday. Kogi people recorded an impressive 93% PVC collection rates. From 1.6 million registered voters, 1.4 million people actually registered to participate in next Saturday's exercise. They are going to be looking at choosing from one of the 24 candidates that will be vying to occupy the Lugard House. Ayodele Ozubakun, TVC News, Lokoja, Kogi State.
Civil society and family of a young lady crushed to death by a military truck in Yobe State are demanding justice. The unfortunate incident occurred in the Gwange area along the state's Gashua Road. TVC News' Michael Oshoma reports.
They called me through phone. They informed me that there are accident in the hospital with my daughter. So I rushed to the hospital and I meet her unconscious. So we are there up to around 5 o'clock p.m. when we miss her.
The late Usina's father narrated his encounter with his daughter shortly before she gave up the ghost. The 19-year-old and a toddler were crushed to death by a military truck while trying to board a tricycle back home from an errand. The incident took place at a spot known as Gonge Junction.
They were given a green light when they were coming out from Gonge, while the other one coming from Gashua Road. So all of them have confirmed to us that the Kekena Feb rider was in his right hand and the traffic, while the military vehicle is in violation of the traffic and was on high speed. That's what actually caused the accident.
There should be all support for working together between the military and their host communities. Yeah, the military are doing their work, but they should remember they have the rules of engagement for doing their work. At the same time, they need the community they are serving, because without the community, the military will not be there.
The family members of Bafa Bello are calling on relevant authorities to investigate the tragic incident that led to the death of their beloved daughter.
We need justice to Hussein. We want this brutal action of the military to stop, because this is what they are doing is barbaric in nature. It's not something to be doing like as if we are in the military system of government.
I was shocked when I heard about this incident, and it really hurt me. Okay, so and it has been happening all those days. It's not this is the first time.
The military has already sympathized with the deceased family in a statement and wished other victims recuperating in the hospital speedy recovery. Michael Oshoma, TVC News, Damaturu.
And that's all on the news for this hour. We'll take the weather report and, of course, we'll be back with sports after the break. story. Let's take a look at the headlines in the papers this morning. I will kick off from The Punch. And we have here fuel supply suspension. Petrol scarcity hits border towns, and fuel is now 600 to a litre. And the riders underneath that say fuel smuggling thrives in Adamawa and Sokoto. And the second annotation there goes on to say task force brutalizes Idiroko residents. And the picture story there we can see is a tanker explosion as it rocks Lagos community and Kwara school razed. All of this, the jump line says pages 4 and 5. And Winners Pastor, a woman abducted by Boko Haram, freed. That's the jump line there. Takes you to page 22. And 85-year-old woman missing after church service in Ondo. Delayed transfer of indicted soldiers stalls Wadume's arraignment. And all of this, this is on page 9. Okay, yeah, so just take this final one. Buhari mourns David West, says he was indomitable. And that's talking about the former Minister of Petroleum and also Rivers State Education Commissioner who just passed on, Professor Tam David West. All of this on the front page of The Punch. And then from The Punch, I'll move up to the Daily Sun. And right beside the flag of the paper on the right, you can see there Ikpeazu, ADB, and Afrexim Bank out to raise $400 million for Eyimba. Economic city. Now, when I saw Eyimba, I thought of the football club, but hey, that's talking about, that should be about Aba. That jump line will take you to page 39 for the full story. And the major headline there is Okogie and Onaikon na Aba won over 2023 presidency. The annotations underneath say security and waning confidence in INEC, biggest threat to Nigeria's unity in next presidential election. The second writer says only competent person deserves our votes. That's from Naaba. And the picture story there is that of a petrol tanker on fire at Estate bus stop along Ikpaja Ayobo Road, Lagos, yesterday. So many fires recorded. Please be safe out there. We'll get into the dry season, so please be safe out there. Beside that, we can see customs generates 1.002 trillion revenue naira in 9 months. Serap writes Bishop of Canterbury over Shore, and Oyo Gubernatorial Court affirms Makinde's victory. All of this. But okay, just one final one. Declare state of emergency on roads. Sanu tells federal government that should be taking a cue from the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu concerning the state of emergency. But all of this on the front page of the Daily Sun. And from the Daily Sun, look at the Nigerian Tribune. Okay, so Makinde versus Adelabu. PDP and APC thump chest over appeal court verdict. And 3 riders underneath, my mandate intact. No one can snatch joy of Oyo people. Makinde. Verdict sound apt. Supreme Court will perfect it. APC. Dakbo Abiodun wins at appeal court and says victory is triumph of truth. And pneumonia kills 1 child every 3 minutes in Nigeria. And CAC moves against defaulting companies over annual returns. And the picture story there is that of some dignitaries at an event in Abuja on Sunday. All of this on the front page of the Tribune. And from the Tribune, I'll check out the Vanguard. Gloom as power supply lags behind target by 7,454 megawatts. Real gloom. 2 riders there. Threatens a federal government's economic and recovery growth plan. And man, LCCI lament. Experts call for government intervention. We can see a picture story there. First Lady and others pray for Nigeria. And that's the First Lady, the Chief of Staff, and some dignitaries there at the State House Conference Center, Abuja, yesterday. And FG declares war on importers of fake medicine. Of course, this makes me remember the late Professor Dora Akinli, who did a great job there when it comes to stopping the import of fake medicine. Okay, so on a lighter note here, Mr. and Mrs. I love this. Let's see what they have there. You have been reading my mails. I think it's time I change my password. That's from Mr. And Mrs. who's not in the picture, calls out to say, you are wasting your time on Facebook instead of facing the problem at hand. Real men improve the status of their passbooks, not passwords. Calm down on Mr. All of that on the front page of the Vanguard. On that light note, we have to round up, look at the headlines of the papers. We'll take a break now. When we return, Commandant Mary is back. She will let you, in fact, don't listen to any other thing. Once Mary is handling traffic, you're sure that you're going to get to where you want faster. We'll do that right after this break.
Good morning and thank you for staying tuned. It is time for Lagos traffic updates on Wake Up Nigeria. Of course, we have to find out what the roads look like this morning, especially the fastest way to get to your destination. You can also be a part of this by simply sending in your current location as well as a traffic selfie using the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria, and of course that's via TVC Connect. All right, let's start off from Ile-Epo bus stop, heading towards Mushin bus stop this morning. From what I can see, it will take you about an hour, 10 minutes to get to Mushin bus stop this morning from Ile-Epo bus stop. And quite honestly, that isn't so bad, considering the fact that today is more like another Monday. Most people are going back to work this morning. The red areas to look out for, Iyanopaja axis. As you're approaching Iyanopaja, especially as soon as you're past Pleasure bus stop, the traffic goes on from there till you get to Iyanopaja, just past the bridge. That's where the gridlock runs through. So there's a lot of traffic in that axis this morning, and it's bumper to fender traffic. Another red area is, interestingly, Dokpemu isn't so bad. Approaching Dokpemu after you've traversed Iyanopaja, that gridlock at Iyanopaja is actually free-flowing this morning. Under the bridge at Dokpemu, light traffic is free-flowing immediately you pass the bridge. And then it's just actually quite deceptive. As soon as you get to Cement bus stop, the light traffic builds, and then less than 3 minutes later, the gridlock begins. And that gridlock will take you all the way through Ile-Zik, all the way through the regular areas, along National. That traffic will take you till you get to Ikeja on the bridge. You know that intersection for those going towards the airport? Yes, that's where it's going to take you to. Afterwards, it's free-flowing, okay? So those are the red areas. Of course, Oshodi, approaching the bridge. From Arena, it's light traffic. Approaching the bridge, the gridlock is quite massive, after which, of course, it's free-flowing till you get to Mushin, okay? So remember, an hour, 10 minutes, especially if you're on the road right now, and you ought to be at Mushin bus stop from Ile-Epo bus stop. All right, Mike, I'm sure you have a few updates for me.
Not at this moment, I don't. I'm trying to see if I can get, but I know after yesterday's public holiday, even though at the end of the holiday, there was traffic, there was quite traffic. Lagosians, we moved quite a lot. But this morning, there was a little bit of a lull. It wasn't as much as I expected because I was in a little bit later than I normally would. And the traffic had not built up so much. So maybe someone says today is Monday, you know, because of, it's supposed to be the first day of the working week, as it is. But it's like people are picking up slowly. So not so much traffic in some areas, I hope. Yeah.
Talking about picking up slowly, people working on the island are picking it up fast.
Oh,
there's no slow-moving traffic. There's no speed there. As a matter of fact, from Iyanowuru all the way to Obalende, it is traffic. You won't believe it. This is the first time I'm going to see this ever since I started doing this traffic updates. I'm telling you. Whoa. So coming from Iyanowuru already, the gridlock has started. And it's bumper to fender until you get to the Unilag axis. In fact, just before you get to the Unilag axis, where it's suddenly a freeway. But it's deceptive. In just a minute, you experience traffic again. And then it seems like it's light traffic. It continues and you're like, okay, it's not so bad. Until you are just past Iwaya, approaching the Makoko axis of the 3rd Mainland Bridge. And the gridlock just slaps you in the face like, bam. And it goes like that till you get to Obalende. Approaching Obalende, it's light traffic, you know, the traffic becomes lighter. But hey, you're going to spend about an hour on the Third Mainland Bridge this morning. So prepare your minds for that, which is surprising because considering the fact that it's a gridlock, it's not as it's not going to take you as much time as I expect it would. So, well, it's not so bad, but man, this traffic is serious, like a really big deal. Okay, so Mike, do you still have any updates for me? Any further updates finally?
No, I'm still trying to look at. I'm not
still trying to.
Yeah, I'm still trying to check out, but none so far. But like you said, the island is blocked. Like a number of people are rushing there. They don't calm down, man. They're always on the move and on the go. I would say, I would always say, if it's on the island, as much as you can, try to get accommodation there. You know, moving about, by the time you quantify, it's going to be hard to quantify the time you spend in traffic plus the stress, which of course you can't quantify in monetary terms when it comes to, so you should try to do what you can to live as close as possible to work. If it's on the island, find somewhere around the island and all of that. So it can help with the congestion of our roads, especially when we have to move out in the morning.
It will help, but there's already the congestion on the... In fact, there's already congestion, rather, on the island, and we don't want the island to sink. But on a more serious note,
by 30 or 50, we're supposed to be submerged in water. I think because we're reclaiming so much of the island, you know, so there's so much of sand filling. We should take proactive measures. Now that we know this, we should take proactive measures to ensure that.
Also consider the fact that for some people, it's cheaper, in quotes, to pay the rents on the mainland and then look for someone who can give them a lift to the island every morning.
So you see, Maria, when you look at...
But then the toll on the health is also another issue to consider.
Which is exactly what I wanted to mention. When you look at an average Lagosian who spends 4 to 6 hours on traffic every day, look, man, you can't quantify that thing in money, man.
Even those living close to the island spend that amount of time. You'll be shocked, especially those living in certain areas of Surulere.
When if you spend that time, you're still on the island.
Coming from the island, Mike, no be
spend that time on you're still on the island. Just move.
You know what? I'll come and join you in the kitchen.
Move to your workplace.
I'll come and join you in the kitchen.
If you're going to.
But let me just quickly give this update. It does look like the Third Mainland Bridge might be a good option for you if you're going to the island, because one of those strange things from Maryland bus stop to CMS garage will actually take you an hour, 20, 30 minutes this morning, which is very strange because that area is usually free of traffic, is usually devoid of traffic. So just prepare your mind if you're already on that road that perhaps you want to turn towards the Third Mainland Bridge and face that Third Mainland Bridge traffic. It depends. Follow your spirit, as they say. I'll be joining Mike in the kitchen right now, and there, of course, the conversation continues. Drive carefully, oh. Be very careful, all right?
If you're on the island and you walk on the island and you still spend 4 to 6 hours, just move into your workplace, man. That's what's good for you. All right, so, but just before she joins me, quite interesting stuff happening on social media. So something happened over the weekend, and I had to go check out South African trends. And so my feed, I guess that's why I was unable to get some traffic reports or some traffic updates. My feed was on South African trends. And Nigeria is trending in South Africa.
Nigeria always trends in South Africa. I don't know what we've done to them.
And then Ghana is trending in Nigeria. But Nigeria is not trending in Nigeria.
Africa is trending in Africa.
So, and this is one of the reasons why this is one of the reasons why, of course, the visit of the CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, is one of the reasons why Nigeria is trending in South Africa. And then, but this one is very funny. There's a meme there, and they said, "This is it, President. Smoking is now legalized in Nigeria after 5 minutes. Lagos and Port Harcourt." And then there's a picture of Lagos and Port Harcourt, and man, you need to see the whole place is submerged. South Africa, everyone should not be trying us too much. You'll not be attacking us on Twitter. Don't let us handle you. But hey, come on. I guess it's all brotherly banter.
For those
it's all brotherly banter
from South Africa. No matter where you.
it's all. I think I love brotherly banter like this. I mean, we're taking on Ghana, South Africa is taking us on. I think let's learn to, you know, I would use this one to call out again and say, talk about just mention xenophobic attacks that we are one. As much as possible, let's try to eschew violence.
And talking about the xenophobic attacks, as you mentioned, you know, Burna Boy, there's been talks of, Burna Boy is performing in South Africa and all. Well, he says he's actually donating a part of the proceeds to victims of the xenophobic attacks,
Yeah,
especially Nigerians that are affected, which
That are
is quite
affected.
commendable. And then, of course, it goes, Africans United is beyond any individual. Now, what I'm interested in is what will happen when he finally sets his eyes on, is it Aka or AK or whatever
Nothing
that
will
guy's
happen.
name? I want
It's
to see
already,
the drama.
you know that at a point he was red flagged in the UK. He can't go on causing trouble anyhow. Now he's an African giant. He's where he wants to be. He's where he should be. Maybe he has higher dreams. You can't go on talking anyhow and causing trouble. You are somebody people look up to, so you can't just go out and say what do you want to do?
Some
Fight
people
AK?
like being controversial,
what?
so it depends on the kind of persona he
They'll
wants to
lock him up,
push.
oh.
If they lock him up, they'll release him. He's the
you know
African
what
giant.
happened? They will lock him up. You know what happened with this guy? What's his name now? The
Who?
guy Trump was fighting to get freed in Sweden and all of that. You can't just
The
go around causing
rapper,
trouble.
is it A$AP Rocky, I think?
Yeah, you can't just go out causing trouble, man. You especially when you mentioned it on Twitter, so there's something people can fall back on. So you just have to be careful about that.
Well, it'll be fine. Let's, there's something that was trending over the weekend, Mike. I don't know if you saw it. It had to do with things some females are done to keep a man.
To keep a man, yeah.
And I'm waiting for the trend for things some men have done to keep a female. Because
We always
me,
do
I
everything
have so
every
many
time.
male friends and my ears are full. So I know those ones.
We're not too diabolical. The females are more diabolical when it comes to doing things to keep the ladies. We would go almost any length to do physical things. We'll go out of the way to, a lot of guys will go out of the way to even borrow money to take care of the ladies' needs. They would they'll do anything, almost any physically, you know. They would go out. But when it comes to that thread, the kind of things I was reading, man, just be very careful. Very gear, just put her eye and say, Baba.
It's a lie, Joe.
We lock you out. Yes, because we had there's a lot of disgusting stuff. You know what I'm talking about.
And guess what?
That we heard.
You know what actually
A lot.
shocked me about this? The fact
lot.
that there was no border. People in the UK, in the US, all over the world, there was somebody with a story of having done something to keep a man.
Wow.
That was a bit diabolical. In fact, there was this particular comment on a blog. This person actually outlined how she used orange, pepper, the guy's photo. You should have seen the breakdown. It took like maybe, 25 lines? And guess where? This one was in Haiti.
No, but you know Haiti are assistant Nigerians. You know that?
Haiti, Brazil, Mexico.
No, Brazil said they are still there, but Haiti, they are assistant Nigerians. Seriously. So you remember when this guy was here now? Jean-Louis, of course, a lot of the descendants of people there in Haiti are Nigerian, like Nigerian blood. So they're just assistant Nigeria. They're just there. So when that can't happen, if it's Haiti, our brother, we got
No,
you.
but on a more serious note,
got
Mike,
you.
what's the craziest thing you've ever done to get and keep a girl?
I don't do crazy things, man.
Keep quiet. You
I
that we know
I don't
you.
do crazy things. I don't do crazy things. I mean,
So
for
you've
crying
never
out
had
loud.
to go out of your way to keep
No, maybe
somebody or
probably-
to do
probably,
something?
Okay, so like I said, I think probably for me, I think I didn't have money and I had to borrow money to take care of a girl's needs.
Of a girl's needs.
Yeah.
And
That was-
what
I think-
happened
I think
to
that
you
was
guys?
What happened?
But you guys were not dating, Abi?
Were we dating? I don't know, man. It
You
was
were-
a
you were in a
situationship.
friend zone, but
No,
you
it wasn't a
sure.
friend zone. It was a situationship kind of thingy.
Situation.
But it had to. But I think it had to do with money. Like when you never chop, but babe wants something, you can't go there find money. I'm sure that. I think that's about the craziest. I wouldn't go further.
Someone told me of a particular incident where a friend of his actually used the last cash on him to take a girl he was really having a huge crush on out.
Okay, but
No, wait now. He now gave her, he took her out when they got to our apartment. He was like, will you at least give me a hug? You know, that kind of crush now. The girl said, no, I can't give you a hug and everything. Come, is it because of what you bought for me? And then she just put the bag of chicken and everything inside the bin in her room. This guy went back to his hostel almost crying. His friends saw him taking Gary. They were like, but you still have small cash in your pocket now. Come here, let's go. When they got there, like 6 girls on the floor. Guess what was in their middle? The chicken, the rice, the everything. They were devouring. Every time I think of girls that form, I'm always like, you guys now, calm down. At least have some patience. Ha!
You see that girl?
The guy's feelings. What will you
I have
do?
one word for you.
What word? Let's
Later.
go on this break. We'll be right Great to have you in the studio today. Fantastic. All right, so let me quickly tell you guys about Testimony. He is a hip-hop gospel artist, as Mike said, and he has a dynamic style to his music. He's also a singer, a songwriter, and will be performing to the song Jehovah Dua. So which one is Jehovah Dua?
We call him Jehovah Dua because it's Jehovah that can do everything. Call him Jehovah Settler, Jehovah Bombonishe.
You need to use your mic.
Okay, we call him Jehovah Talk and Do, Jehovah Dua, Jehovah Settler, Jehovah Bombonishe, Jehovah Bashiri. It's a beautiful name. Because they call him the Jehovah Nisi, then that's what they want to call him.
Yeah, but you choose to call him Jehovah Dua.
Yes, because it's Jehovah now.
Now, you've been doing music since about 2011, 2012.
Yes.
And for many people, especially around that time, gospel music wasn't much of an option, considering how not so commercially viable it was. So why did you decide to stick to gospel music for so long?
Because I knew there was, when I made up my mind to do gospel, so I was just looking at the right place to be. I now found out that Ogba, you have a lot of work to do in the gospel industry, and that's why I stick to what I'm doing. Different things, nice videos, dope, trying to break a lot of records, and which I'm already doing, and just to make sure that the young ones have that beautiful dream. Like what you said now, everybody grown up in Nigeria, you don't want to be a gospel artist. You want to be like a child. I want to be like Davido, Whiskey, whatever. But I'm like, no, these guys, they work. They work very well and put the right pictures on these people's face. What I'm going to do as a Christian, we need to start putting good pictures because picture speaks.
Fantastic.
More than, people listen. Before you have song on your phone, gospel, you want to have the audio on your phone. You don't want to have video on your phone.
But now people are beginning to embrace that. Yes. Fantastic. I can tell you're feeling really fulfilled with what you've done so far.
I'm happy.
Fantastic. All right, so I'm going to let you perform Jehovah Dua.
Okay.
Here we go.
Thank
Testimony
you.
Jagger on this one.
If you know you have a testimony,
Now, what's your favorite ritual in the morning? Mine is a nice bottle of water. And then some other people that want to take a strong black coffee. Some other people is tea. Mary, what's yours?
Me? Lemon.
Lemon?
Yeah.
Different ways
lemon
to start.
in warm or hot water with maybe tea of some kind of healthy tea.
That does the trick for you, right?
Perfect. Yeah. And not only does that do the usual trick, it's also a dose of your feel-good show, Wake Up Nigeria. It makes us better, talk less of you, so we can imagine how you feel. So I suggest you try this first every day. Turn on your TV and make sure your dial is locked to TVC. My name is Mary Basha Ali.
I am Mike Mesikino. We're streaming live. TVC Entertainment.tv, that's the website. On Facebook at TVC Connect. Of course, if you want to drop a comment, how do they do that?
Hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
Exactly.
Yes.
That'll be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and any of our social media handles. Of course, we also have an app available for you to download. App on Android and iOS stores. You can watch us anywhere and also interact with us via the app anywhere in the world.
Okay, so I'm going to be in the kitchen this morning.
Who told you? You take kitchen. You don't want to take traffic.
You've been doing this since this morning.
So
Mike has been
Mike is going to be in the
me.
kitchen with Chef.
So Mary is going to be in the kitchen. At the rate we are going, two of us will be in that kitchen with Chef Naila.
In fact, the kitchen
Chef
will be
Naila, how are you doing this morning?
Morning, how are you?
Very well.
Hello, I can see a wonderful spread there. And, it's looking like something I'm not used to, but with the way you are doing that spread, I think I'll be used to it today.
Michael, this is real breakfast.
See, an apple a day keeps a doctor away.
Yes.
Does that statement, is it valid?
Not exactly.
Not exactly.
Not exactly.
I knew.
Scientifically, it's not the
an apple alone and you want to chase a doctor. But hey, come on.
The only thing is, eating a fruit a day, that's just the idea. would actually keep your doctor away because you're less likely to fall ill.
Now, talking about Dr. Mary, what do we have in health this morning?
Oh, we have Dr. Olalekan Ojo, a consultant nephrologist who will be talking about kidney complications arising from diabetes disease. That's definitely what to see.
Yeah. And on DIY today, we have Luchi Nyoma Anyim, who will be showing us how to make a handbag.
And for the latest just making the rounds in entertainment, Mike will be joined by entertainment journalist and OAP Amal Cash. Kanye for weeks now. Kanye is just everywhere.
He's the man. He's just everywhere. He's just everywhere. And then, of course, on parenting, we have Biodun Odunukwe, parenting coach and family life practitioner, who's going to talk about becoming a redefined parent.
And then for a musical performance and of course a chat right afterwards is first runner-up of Nigerian Idol Season 1, singer-songwriter Naomi Mark Paladini. Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah. There's something I see in front of me here. I'll probably look at it when I take the review of headlines and papers this morning. But Apapa, lockdown.
Apapa. So, some relatives of mine found themselves at the Festac Access on Saturday. They left home 10 a.m. They arrived 9 p.m. It's that
10
kind
a.m.
of 10 a.m. What they went for, they didn't spend more than an hour there. But the round trip took almost 12 hours.
So Apapa from where?
From Beja area towards Apapa, then of course back to Beja. The traffic.
That should be a journey that shouldn't take more than 2 hours, 30 minutes back and forth.
In fact.
So that don't know when we started, but the only thing our Papa will do it through video call or whatever. Like our Papa, really?
I don't know how people who live around that area actually cope. I know for sure Nima comes from that axis every day.
Ooh.
Yes, whenever she's on Wake Up Nigeria. And that's why sometimes I have to even stand in for her till she arrives because the traffic can be insane. It can be really bad. I actually feel really bad for her. The stress.
Yeah,
for those who live in that area.
Yeah, true. It's I don't know, man. I don't know. I like it has defied all forms of the solutions and whatever. Like, man, is it narcos or what?
No, look at what. Just read this headline so people can understand what informs.
No, I'll read it. I'll get to it when we're doing. Since of course we'll at the headlines paper.
Yeah.
Well, you see, I really don't know, because the president, there's been a task force that has been given an ultimatum at some point. There was like 3 weeks. That sometimes when the trailers will move and the trailers come back and then they tell that okay, there's nowhere to park these trailers, which you can understand. And then there's the issue of only that port working, about spreading the ports, having other ports where goods can come into the country. And then
sometimes you see
it's quite a lot.
It's cleared, and then the next moment, all the trucks are back, and it's worrisome and scary at the same time because we're talking about lives being endangered. Just yesterday, we were talking about driving to work, and just as you made a turn, you almost ended up ramming into a truck. So many things, really, many. I know you have to take the news now.
Yeah, sure. And now it's the news. The Court of Appeal on Monday delivered judgment in the Oyo State governorship election matter. The court considered the appeal in favor of appellant Adebayo Adelabu of the All Progressives Congress on all counts. The court refused to overturn the judgment of Election Petitions Tribunal that upheld Mr. Makinde's victory in the election in March. The court also did not order for fresh elections to be held. Legal practitioners are sharply divided on the real import of the judgment. There are reports that the APC and PDP have already taken steps to take the matter to the Supreme Court.
One thing that we can say for certain is that the declaration and return has not been affected in any way. The Court of Appeal, in their wisdom, said they did not agree with the lower tribunal. They did also say that they did not agree with INEC. INEC's declaration is sacrosanct. It remains until any other pronouncement from the court. we have not seen the details of the judgment. You are all in court and you saw that the details were not read to us. As far as we are concerned, there's no cause for alarm.
We all listened to the judgment, and the appellate court, they've made us to know that other judgments are not of general application, that cases should be decided on their merits. You've seen you listened to what my lord said about the evaluation of judgment, of evidence, that when there are evidence before the court, the evidence of all parties before the court should be evaluated. Judgment should not be based only on the evidence of a party.
And tributes are pouring in for former Minister of Petroleum, Tam David West, who died in hospital at the age of 83. President Muhammadu Buhari has paid his tribute in his condolence message to the David West family. The president described the late academic as someone who had an indomitable spirit, stood resolutely by whatever he believed in, and was in a class of his own. The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ibadan says the death of Mr. David West is a big loss to the academic family all over the world. Professor Abel Idowu Olayinka says the vacuum left by the deceased will be difficult to fill. The late Tam David West was a retired professor of virology at the university. Now, Nigerians doing business in Ghana have been asked to vacate their shops on Thursday, November the 14th, or be forcefully evicted. The move is an apparent retaliation against the federal government's closure of Nigeria's land borders. The ultimatum was issued by the Ghana Union of Traders Associations and the Ghana Electrical Dealers Association. A Nigerian trader in Ghana says they are angry because of Nigeria's border closure, which has affected their businesses. That's all on the news for now. Let's take a look.
It will forever remain a huge shock to many, both Nigerians and non-Nigerians, that we don't produce pencils here.
No. That for the fact that, I mean, in this age when we're talking about Kindles, we're talking about...
No matter how you talk about Kindles and the rest, pencils are still important. It depends on what you're making use of.
Mary,
and then children need to learn with certain things. They are easier to handle.
Mary,
you want to pull technology on me. I'm listening.
You know what happens? That's how people that are older, when they were using slates, they say, no, slates will not go out. Now books are going out. They'll start using styluses.
Do you know how many people still use slates? People still use slates.
Oh, Mary.
Babies use slates.
Mary, you're in the kitchen now. I'm supposed to be there. But chef Nyla. Nyla.
Yeah.
Chef Nyla.
She's not the lioness, though. But
no.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So come on, tell us what we have this morning.
King. I know, right?
All right, so you're welcome to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, and it's going to be made even more lovely by Chef Nyla, the lioness, who's going to be making us breakfast this morning. So what are we having for breakfast? Looks like quite a spread.
Well, it's the breakfast show, so why don't we delve into it straight up? It's actually, we're going to be talking about granola today, which it is a breakfast cereal. It's
an understated breakfast cereal.
Quite understated because in its raw form, or rather the base ingredients, a lot of us are not big fans of it, which is oats.
Oats, not me.
So yeah, you won't pay me to put it on a plate, but but yeah, we're going to be talking about the different ways to use granola today. We're going to talk about the health benefits of granola, and we're going to actually show our audience what to do with it.
Okay, fantastic. So let's talk about the ingredients. I see different types here.
Okay, so...
Is there a difference or you...
There's so there's an interesting difference here. So for what we did here was we actually made granola a very simple one first, starting with just your oats, your fruits.
This is just oats and fruits.
And coconut shreds.
Okay.
So shredded toasted coconuts. Then we have the next one, which is citrus-based. So we flavor it with... citrus products, which is your oranges, your lemons, your limes, just to give it that natural...
Wow.
Well, why don't you use your nose first?
Oh, nice. Yes. This is really nice.
Yes, it is. So you can taste.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. So this was people with sweet tooth, right?
Yeah, so, yes. So the more you go in the levels of sweetness, then we have chocolate. I know you're a chocolate fan, so this is for you.
Chocolate. I feel good already. Okay, so.
Yeah, so that's chocolate. And then we have toasted coconuts, we have milk, regular whole milk, and then we have Greek sweetened yogurt.
Okay,
so
sweetened.
It for me, it has to be sweetened if I'm going to consume it.
Not unsweetened.
Yeah, so because I always try to look for natural things that have the natural sugars because I'm a sugar addict on my own. So I do try to
healthy sugars.
Exactly.
As
So right,
and
then the fruits. We have pawpaw, we have watermelon, we have grapes, both black and red. Then we have honey here actually, and then lemon juice, a bit of lemon juice.
Okay.
That's just for the apples and pears so that they don't change colors when we cut them up and all of that.
Okay, so let's get started. What's the first thing we're learning?
So first things first is we're going to get your cup.
So we're making a parfait?
We're going to start with the parfait actually.
Okay.
So let's start with the yogurt.
And yogurt can be gotten just about anywhere.
It's pretty much everywhere now. I mean, there's the new... Everyone is a bit health conscious these days, and so we're all watching what we're trying to eat. So I think yogurt in place of maybe something like ice cream and, well, I think actually ice cream for now. So we have yogurt.
Okay, what goes in next?
Actually, what flavor of granola would you like?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Can you make a wild guess?
Chocolate?
Of course.
Well, you know what?
What?
Why don't we blend the chocolate and the citrus?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
So,
try
you know,
it.
because chocolate and citrus flavor-wise, they are fantastic together. So
I've never tried them together.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
well.
this would be a first for me.
Right, so we're going to just do a little bit of this, of the citrus granola.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to couple this up, and I'm going to tell you exactly what Chef Naila has put in there. And then we'll do another style of breakfast with granola, which you're going to find out shortly. We have to go on this break, though. Stay with us. It's Wake Up Nigeria.
Welcome back. On health, we have Dr. Olalekan Ojo, a consultant nephrologist with Federal Medical Center Owo, Ondo State, and former NMA president, Ondo State. And today, we're talking about kidney disease. Of course, it keeps increasing in this part of the world, and we'll be talking about kidney complications arising from diabetes disease. It's great to have you, doctor. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Sorry, please, I have to correct something.
Okay.
I was never NMA president.
Okay.
I was the chairman of the Medical and Dental Consultants.
Thank you
Federal
very
Medical
much
Center.
for pointing that out. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. All right. So, kidney diabetes and kidney-related complications. Now, let's start with the prevalence rate of diabetes as it is now. What is the present prevalence rate of diabetes?
As far as this country is concerned, the endocrinologist will give us that data.
Okay.
But what we know is that there has been an increasing trend. Because I think in 1967, Professor Akin Kugbe and his team did a survey of diabetes in the country, and at that time, it was perceived to be low. Less than 1%. But as at 2007, it has risen to over 3%, and the trend has increased.
Has increased?
Yeah, so we have an increasing trend of diabetes.
What causes it? Is it our lifestyle? Is it our food? What is happening?
Well,
why that increasing rate?
Well, of course, it's a mixture of two things. We have individuals who have a genetic load. Maybe parents are diabetic, and meaning that if they are exposed to a lifestyle that can make them to come up or come down with the disease earlier. So we have individuals who have that, and then some other situations that we don't know anything about. Yeah.
So how does diabetes affect the kidney?
Well, the impact of diabetes on the kidney is at different levels. Number one, you know that diabetes mellitus impacts virtually all the systems of the body, the brain, the eye, the kidney, the heart, the nervous system, the cardiovascular system, and everything like that. So, and then it also affects the immune system. So a diabetic ordinarily will come down with infections more than a non-diabetic individual, especially a diabetic who does not attend to his care sufficiently. Now, talking about the kidney specifically, some of the long-term complications of diabetes mellitus is that they affect the smaller vessels. So we label this the microvessels, microvascular complications. When diabetes mellitus has been in the system for long, the small vessels get affected. So you now have manifestations in the kidney, the nervous system, and the retina. So, and that is why when an individual has diabetes mellitus, by the time we're seeing some things in the urine, as a nephrologist, if an individual comes to the clinic, one of the things we ask them to do is we want to look at the urine. Okay. There are specific things we want to see. Ordinarily, the urine should be free of sugar and protein. And then even for the protein, we have the large molecule protein. We have the smaller ones, like what we call the albumin. Now, with time, an individual can first develop, or we can detect albumin in the urine. At this point, we can still do something. We can reverse it. And then, of course, it can go on to having overt or gross protein in the urine, by which time we begin to see some deterioration in the kidney function. There's a way we assess the kidney function of individuals. And then with time, it goes on to impacting majorly on the function of the kidney, because the kidney subserve both the excretory function and some other functions like integrity of the bone, production of red blood cells. So with further deterioration, you have reduction in red cell formation. You have, of course, meaning that this individual will now be having low blood level, what we call anemia, and an anemic individual has less energy to do some other things. And with time, the individual might go into what we call the kidney failure that will be requiring dialysis, either hemodialysis or peritoneal dialysis, and ultimately kidney transplantation. So it's a spectrum. And usually an individual whose kidneys are affected will have other things affected. So by the time somebody is paying much protein in the urine, the ophthalmologist looks into the eye and begins to see changes attributable to diabetes mellitus, and then begin to have some other nervous, that is involvement of the nervous system. So the individual has some abnormality of sensation, maybe working on cotton wool and a few other things like that. So all these things, the kidney is seriously impacted, and then it affects the life of such an individual.
Wow, now this is also much taken at the same time. How can one reduce the susceptibility of, his own or personal self to this disease
deterioration? Okay, well, it is good to know yourself. When I say know yourself medically, a number of us don't even know the conditions that our parents are battling with. About a week ago, I saw a young man, less than 40, coming down with diabetes. And in interacting with him, he said the grandfather was diabetic, the father was diabetic, and unfortunately, he was just taking all these fizzy things. At 37, he has come down with diabetes.
Fizzy things? What do you mean by fizzy things?
I'm talking about carbonated drinks, soda, Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, 7-Up, and everything like that. I mean, this guy told me he was taking it every day. So at 37, he has come down with diabetes. Meaning that if we're going to project, if he doesn't take good care of himself, he's a candidate for renal disease. So you know yourself. Do you have the burden? Then you need to take care early in life. Now, even if you assume you don't have the burden, we don't eat healthy as our foreparents used to. So we need
They were more natural, but we have a lot of processed
Exactly. Food. And then we generate a lot of free radical, belaboring the pancreas and the other organs excessively. So we need to eat healthy. We need to exercise. I mean, in this part of the globe, in fact, a singer sometimes said it is the man that has the pot belly that you keep your money with, not the one that is asthenic, as it were. So we need to do all of these things. And then if for any reason now, you know that you are diabetic, because, I mean, I saw a guy, a 40-year-old who resides both in the US and in Nigeria, that I said, look, when last did you see a doctor? He said, I know, I've never been ill all my life. Then I asked him, because he drives a limo. I said, when last did you take your car to the mechanic? Was it when the engine knocked? I said, no, I go frequently. Now, it's such an irony that individuals will take their car to the mechanic without any complaint at all, but we don't check ourselves. So you do a regular check of yourself. What is your blood pressure? What is your urine like? What is your sugar like? Now, when you know all these things, if for any reason you are diagnosed as being diabetic, then you need to listen to your doctor. Because the other thing in this part of the globe, again, is that we have people that are so knowledgeable. They will tell you this one works and everything. And by the time they are coming to us, I mean, the case is almost irredeemable.
Doctor, this is eye-opening. It's not like, it's enlightening. Thank you very much. I hope you can still come back. Because left to us now, I'll sit down with you for hours and hours and continue talking. But thank you very much for today. I hope we can still continue this. There's still a lot more that I think people need to know to sensitize themselves and, of course, enlighten themselves when it comes to kidney-related diseases. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
All right. So, well, I hope you were able to learn something. I have. I hope you have also. Mary is on standby. We have DIY coming right up. Hello, Mary.
That's right. We're about to learn something really fantastic this morning. With me is Lucy Inyoma Ayim. Now, she likes to call herself Luchi, like the brand. And she developed interest in Ankara bags and shoes while working with an internet service provider in 2016. She later registered for weekend classes to learn how to make leather bags and female shoes. Today, she's going to show us just how to make a handbag. And that's what we're looking for. You know what? I see you've made the handbag. I'm actually interested in the sports bag. Okay, so that's what you're going to teach us now.
Yes,
Okay, so go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
Now, this is a piece of the Ankara fabric.
Okay.
This is 17 inches. You need to measure 17 inches by 14. And it has to be in two pieces. Okay. Because of the front and the back side. Okay. Now, the first thing you do, here I have my scissors, I have my twisted rope.
Okay.
And then the first thing you do is to fold the edge, the top edge.
Okay.
You fold it in, and then stitch about 2 inches. You do the same thing with the other side. Now, this is where it comes out. After that, you do this for the other parts of it, as well.
So this is what you get eventually after doing the stitching?
Exactly, this is what you get.
Okay.
Now, you also get a piece, 2 pieces of this.
Okay.
That you just measure about 4 inches by 3 inches.
Okay.
And then, now, you get your twisted rope. Measure 58 inches of this into 58 in 2 places. Now, this is what you do. You've gotten one part of this. This actually makes it faster. Instead of passing the rope after stitching.
So you put it in before you even sew?
Yes,
okay.
It makes it very fast for you.
Okay.
The 2 pieces like this, you put right where you stitched, face it up, and then fold just about 1 inch. Fold it in so it comes neat like this.
Okay.
This is where it's going to come.
Okay.
Then you stitch.
Okay.
When you stitch, this is what you're going to get.
When you stitch it, you're going to get it like this?
This is what you get.
Okay.
For the first part.
Okay.
Then you take the second one. You know, it's 2 pieces you actually made.
Yeah.
You get the second one. Face it on your machine.
Okay.
The 2 ropes like this.
Okay.
Just pull one to the side.
One to the side?
Yes, one to the side. The one you're pulling, just take note of the one you're pulling by this left side.
Okay.
Pull it to the side and then cross it like this.
Okay.
The second one, pull on the other end.
And cross it also?
And cross it.
What's the purpose of the crossing?
If you do not cross it, it just comes out straight. You will not be able to close the bag.
Oh, okay.
That's the purpose,
Okay.
Now, the other parts of the folded edges,
okay,
you put it underneath. Take notes.
Underneath?
Yes, underneath the. Then you also fold like the way you did the first
So
one.
you literally sew it inside out?
Yes.
Like this? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Now, ensure that your machine does not run over the other parts.
Okay, you know what? Let's just pause right here.
Okay.
We have to take a quick break, and then, of course, we'll come back to show you how we're going to finish this. Stay with us. Lucy Inoma Ayim, she's still here teaching us how to make a sports bag, okay? In case you're wondering, what do we mean by sports bag? This is what we're talking about, okay? What many people call rucksack in some cases, so that's it. So let's get on with what we've been doing.
Okay.
So far, so good. We'll continue from where we stopped.
Okay.
You've tacked the edges now.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm assuming this is stitched already. Now, the 3x4 inch piece you got, you need to fold it also in. The purpose of folding it in is so it does not, the thread does not run out and then make it not look really very nice, yes.
Okay.
So you fold it in to two edges and fold, then you stitch. Do that for both sides.
Okay.
Now, this is what you're going to get.
After stitching
Yes,
it?
after stitching, this is what you
Okay.
get. Now, this, from that edge, not at the top, just give it about that an inch you folded.
Okay.
Then start to stitch down. Remember this. You fold it into two.
Okay.
And put the folded parts in.
Okay.
Just
that's
about-
supposed to be the hook for the rope.
Yes, that's
Oh.
it. So you put it right in, just about 2 inches to the bottom of the bag, and then you stitch through like that.
Okay.
Remember the second one.
You put it on.
Also the same thing here.
Just so
and
you
fold it.
understand what I mean by that, this is what you're going to get, okay?
Yes.
So this is the result of sewing those in by the sides. This is for this purpose, okay? So you can run your row through it, okay? So let's go on.
Now this is what you get.
After doing the whole
After
sewing.
doing the sewing, you get like
Okay.
this. The next thing you do is to turn it.
Inside out. Okay. See, I took you through the step-by-step process. Okay, no, let me not take the shine. It's actually Lucy, and she's been doing a fantastic job.
That is what you get.
So this is our bag.
Yeah, the two ropes actually dangling.
Okay.
Take
because
one.
we have not attached them.
Yes, you haven't. Just take one part of it, pass it through.
Okay. Take the other
Take
part.
the other part.
And tie them up.
And tie it up.
Is it possible to use fire? You know.
Exactly. I have a lighter here.
Oh, okay.
So because of this, you just burn.
Okay.
I don't want to put it on. So
Okay.
you just burn. This is the same thing for the other.
Aha.
And there you go.
See, our sports bag is ready to be
It's
worn.
ready.
See, let me rock the first sports bag to be made on Wake Up Nigeria. Don't try me. Oh. Well, we have to go for entertainment news right now, and I know for sure Mike is on standby with Amal. Hi, guys.
Yep, of course. Amal is in the house. She hasn't invited me for our show. She has come here like what? Like 80 times or something. But she has not invited me. Well,
Soon, very soon.
I have this grudges. But it's great to have you, Amal.
Great to be back. Great
Man,
to be
this-
back.
This your hair. I like it. I like it. I love it. I love
Thank
it.
you,
I love it. So we have a lot just for you today, and we're kicking off with Davido, who might just be a pastor this time around as he prays for his son at his naming ceremony in London. Of course, Davido threw a lavish naming ceremony for his son Ifeanyi Adeleke on Saturday, but the highlight of the event was when the singer was called out to pray for his son, and he prayed wholeheartedly. All right, let's watch this, and then Amal we'll talk about it.
I want to pray for myself real quick. God, I want to thank you for, first of all, the lives of me and Chioma. You've kept us for so long together. We've been through a lot. You know, I've known Chioma since I was 18, 19, and I'm about to turn 27. So I can really tell that you are involved in our union. I can't count how many tours, how many shows, how many past rubbish we've been through, but I thank you that this day is possible. My son, if what I've done in this world is 1%, you do 10,000%.
Wow. What will make somebody become so? Is this what the son does to someone?
I think David has always been a great father. He has always been, his main purpose in life has always been his children. He always puts that out. Even when he had the 2 daughters, he loved them wholeheartedly. And I think this time it's much bigger because he's now with someone that he's getting married to. So it's obviously on a bigger scale. But I think he's definitely a great father. And I was one of the people that was not surprised.
Okay.
I expect this from him because if he had done anything less, then I would be surprised.
I mean, this is his first son also, so hey, he has all the reason to. And of course, but you know, for me, what I saw when I looked at the whole thing was there was a lot of cutting of cake and there was a lot of sharing of cake. It looked like a marriage ceremony between himself and I was wondering, like, is this a naming or a marriage ceremony or what? And all of that. He was all over. We didn't get to see. Did you get to see the baby in any of the videos or something?
Usually celebrities hide their babies, you know, in the early stages. I don't know why there are different reasons, but I think they're still in that stage of trying to protect the baby from all the negativity of the world because, as we know, society is not as polite as we'd want it to be.
Exactly.
As if you can hide your child during the first stages of their life, you're advised to.
Cool. Yeah, whatever works for you. All right, so Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, of course, visited Nigeria. Everybody from the influencers to celebrities and all of that. Everybody has been there. Of course, he arrived in the country on Thursday after he had earlier announced plans to visit 4 African nations, Ethiopia, Ghana, Nigeria, and South Africa. Now the visit, which according to him was to spend a lot of time with entrepreneurs, has seen him enjoying beautiful food, heritage. Now he was seen in the video speaking Yoruba. In the video, he muttered "Baoni, Nigeria," which means, of course, how are you all doing, Nigeria? And what seemed to be an extension of his admiration for the country's culture and music. Of course, he was here partying, dancing all over. How significant is this? He didn't go to, he's not going to Uganda, by the way.
He's not going. He's not going.
He's not going to Uganda. I hope you don't feel bad.
It's okay. But, you know, I think the funniest part was when I saw a few influencers that wanted to go to meet him to ask for verification on Twitter.
These guys are not playing, man. They're shooting their shots on every level.
Let me just go there and just be like,
straight up. Say, Jack,
guy,
man,
what's up? This is my handle.
See my handle. Verify it sharp. It takes a process, man.
Can you do it on your phone? Just do it real quick.
Whoa! So really, Jack came to Nigeria. You think it's to verify your handle?
It's come to verify.
Be careful, you know. But it's quite significant for us, of course. It is.
Definitely. But you know, Africa is doing big things. Nigeria on its own is doing big things. So it's expected that these days everyone is trying to come and see Nigeria, come and see what it's about, come and see what the fuss is about.
Okay.
So I think his visit was quite. I think he did a lot. Coming. He got to see everyone from OAPs. He got to meet everyone in their different categories. And people got to meet with him and, you know, they planned things. Obviously, we will get to see these plans in time.
Definitely.
But yes, I think it was a great thing that he came down here.
Great one. Cardi B will be in Nigeria, of course. Nigeria and Ghana. She's going to be Nigerian one day, Ghana the other day, and all of that this month. Cardi B in Nigeria. I mean, she's about one of the hottest things when it comes to music worldwide. What does this say about the African market? What does this say about us? Are we the new market?
I think we have always been, and it's great that we're finally being noticed at. For instance, we're what everyone wants to listen to. I don't think we're the new market. We're the new sound.
What a new sound! Exactly. This is the first time in Nigeria or in Africa, by the way, of course. And, so it's big.
Everyone who has a great marketing team would be advised to tap into the African market right now because we're the next big thing coming out. And I think it's great that Cardi is coming through. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to do their home training, which is okay.
I mean, she'll be performing, of course, December 7th and 8th, Nigeria 7th, Ghana 8th, and of course, in both cities. She'll be there. Live Sport, of course, is organizing the event. And like you said, will you be there when she's here in Nigeria?
How can I not be?
So if you want to see Amal losing her home training, Home training. You know, Cardi B has like some of the most explicit lyrics, of course, lyrical content. So that we're definitely going to be losing our home training. That's Amalo, not me. You want to see
said
her?
we.
You know how it
We.
It was a slip of the tongue. All right. So the most likely second black president of the United States, Kanye West, it might be, because we're hearing feelers about that. He has thrown out a new name idea. This is after Diddy, of course, has been changing names anyhow. But Kanye West has said that we don't know if he's joking. Now, in a surprise appearance at the 2019 Fast Company Innovation Festival, he suggested that he may legally change his name to Christian Genius Billionaire Kanye West.
You know, those are all African names, yeah.
As in,
you know, in the naming.
Yeah, exactly.
Genius, billionaire, Christian.
We are like that. You go for Yoruba child.
Yeah.
You go for Yoruba child's naming, man.
At some point, it's good, but he has always been an extremist. He takes whatever he does to the extreme, from production to music. And I'm afraid you can't necessarily do the same with Christianity.
Welcome in. Chill, relax. This is our mouse time. I don't know what's doing in that kitchen. Their blood is too hot. I'm gonna go on, Jerry.
Yeah, I don't think you can do the same. You can't really be an extremist with religion. Otherwise, you take the beauty out of it.
Okay.
Now, from him, because he has taken a lot with this religion, from removing televisions from his children's rooms, telling Kim how to dress. Now
Would
you
that
want
work?
Yeah, so you see, he's taking it a bit too extreme. Then now, even if he has a lot of followers, so even the people that would want to go with him on this journey, because ever since he became Christian, a lot of people have been researching on Christianity because he has followers that want to follow him and see what this journey is about. But if they see him taking extreme measures like this, I'm afraid it's going to take the beauty out of everything, and people are not going to see it. They're just going to be like, okay, it made him do this. I don't want to go that crazy.
I get you. I
Yeah,
get you.
yeah,
I feel you. Thank you so much, Amal. It's always good having your insight on entertainment topics. I'm looking forward to having you some other time. And of course, when you invite me, I don't know also.
It was very soon.
Come on, go, Jare. Come on, be going. All right. So I don't know what's up with Mary. Mary, you wanted to come to the kitchen. That's like that. What fell down, Mary? What fell down in that kitchen?
It was the bowl I was using to eat my cereal.
Chef, are you sure you don't need me to take care of things?
No, we don't need you.
We're
Stay
fine.
where
Thank you
are.
very much.
Exactly.
Okay.
You heard that? You heard that. Yeah. So welcome back to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Just before the top of the hour, we're just going to run you through how to make the cereal version of the granola, okay? So let's get started. So I still have Chef Naila right here with me, of course. Okay, so what's the first thing we're doing?
First things first, simple cereal procedure in the morning. Just run it through.
You're making use of the fruits version, right?
Actually, yeah, so this is the citrus one.
Okay.
And then you just add in your milk. So you have either whole milk, almond milk, soy, whatever you want to do. And you just
add your milk.
That's it. Breakfast is ready.
Breakfast is ready.
And that's it.
See? All right, so this is one way to have your granola. I can feel Mike. Oh, is it my imagination? Must be.
Yeah, he's right here monitoring us.
And this is another way to have it as a parfait. So there you go. Different ways to enjoy your granola every morning. Mike, put that down. We'll take this break. The second hour is over. And of course, Wake Up Nigeria will continue on the other side of the hour. Stay with us. We are now in the third hour, and of course you should know success is only achieved through trials, and we've gone through all the hurdles, climbed like several mountains, right? Across like how many oceans, and we've finally arrived here.
We have 45 minutes more to go, and if there's anything I'm certain about, that's of course apart from this.
Talking with your mouth full as well.
This granola
Granola.
The
buffet.
show is definitely going to get better for this last 45 minutes.
Indeed. So sit back and relax as the last 45 minutes begin right now. My name is Mary Bashwa Alimi.
Mike Messicano is mine. You can also watch us live via streaming at tvcentertainment.tv.
And of course on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in your comments using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
The app is also available to download. Android, iOS. You can watch us anywhere around the world once you have internet connection. That's it.
All right, so we'll go straight to the
But you're
highlights.
not just as if you not see this in my hand, Mary. You just want to ignore this thing in my hand.
We are trying to ignore you because you started with your who wants to collect it?
Okay.
Have you forgotten I'm in the kitchen today?
Oh, yeah, just talk.
I can seize that.
Mary, continue.
Mike, put that thing down. You have no right to... Oh, yeah, go on.
You want me to just leave you and do the show? I'm going to eat this up. Hey, but we still have more to come on the show on parenting. We have Abiodun Odunukwe, a parenting coach and family life practitioner, to talk about becoming a redefined parent.
And then for a musical performance to be followed by a chart is the first runner-up of Nigerian Idol Season 1, singer-songwriter Naomi Mark Palladini. Mike is the only person I know that could have finished a glass of parfait in 10 seconds.
There are different ways to finish this.
Yeah.
You don't know it.
You don't know it.
Okay, so, yeah, Tuesday. And Tuesday, we're getting close to the end of the year, Mary.
Yes, we are.
By the way, Mary markets almost anything. Let me sell Mary's markets today. Mary, and you see, the only thing Mary says she can't market is a human being. But even at that time, it's possible. Maybe you want to adopt. So that's the marketing of human being. You want to adopt again. But Mary markets anything. If it's being sold, you can talk to Mary. She'll definitely get across to you. Of course, social media, hit her up. Anything, no? You can ask me later, but I'll let you know the extent of anything.
If I offended you, forgive me.
Mary can market. Anything. Okay.
So, yeah, okay, go ahead.
No, that's all. I'm done. I'm not what I want to say. I just wanted to sell market for you small and let you know.
I am so suspicious of you right now.
No, it's the kind of thing as American say anything. Why me anything? I mean anything.
It's not that deep. Okay, let's talk about something else, I bet, before you keep up with
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So I was going to give days of the year. There's things happening today, but...
what happened?
I left my phone.
You left your phone? Leave the real worry. It's good. Before you tell us that today is World No Working Day, that you only have to enter a car or something. You know, those days are always very... But I feel like there's a day, I think it was International Kindness Day or so, and I was looking at some of these days and I felt like if we put up enough of these things to sensitize people or to make people, get more connected to this, kindness, happiness, all those kind of things, if it's, cool things like that, we should celebrate them more because those kind of values are things that we lack as Africans. Well, most of these days are not really, maybe the Americans are the ones that, Canadians, those are the ones that have observed most of these days,
And these are actually values we need to imbibe in our daily lives. We take them for granted, but they're actually very important.
They are.
Very important.
They are.
So, that's it.
That's something that we all have to do. So I was mentioning that it was Tuesday and it was the second week in November. The year is getting to an end and all of that. Mary, I know that Mary's birthday is coming up quite close and she always tends to run away during her birthdays. But so this year, where are you running away to? Because I know...
I'm running away to sleep.
Why do you do that, Mary?
No, okay, so for me, birthdays, yes, they're special. Birthdays are fantastic. I do not begrudge anyone who wants to throw a party on their birthday or go for photo shoots. But for me, a standard birthday is one in which I get to sleep. Do whatever I want to do. Just sleep, read, and just keep calm. And you know something funny? I got a call yesterday from someone, and he says, hey, Solations are coming to your office on Thursday.
Well, your birthday is Thursday, Abi?
Oh.
It's close. Oh. I want to sleep on my bed.
But I'm not going to be here on Thursday.
Don't worry now. You just wake up in the morning and find out that you see yourself somewhere where you do not sleep.
God forbid. God forbid.
We're going to take the lead.
For the things you do For my life, you change. For your mercies and glory. For the blessings you give all the better.
Amazing. That was absolutely amazing. You had us going, enough grooving in the studio today. All right, it is time for parenting right here on Wake Up Nigeria. And for that, we have Biodun Odunukwe, a parent, teen coach, and family life practitioner whose knowledge and skills include neurolinguistics, programming, teen psychology, family life engineering, emotional intelligence, and so much more. She's here to talk about becoming a redefined parent. So great to have you in the studio with us, Biodun.
Thank you very much.
So when we talk about a redefined parent, what do you mean?
Yeah, to become a redefined parent, first let us understand that every parent has a unique style. Every parent has a unique style. And we've also learned about different types of parenting styles, the authoritarian, authoritative, and all of that. But you know, the thing is, many people don't even understand the kind of styles that they're using with their children, you know, and the need for us to understand what style we're using and the need to improve on this parenting styles is very important. So, and that's where the concept of becoming a redefined parent, you know, comes in. Because you could be using a parenting style with your child and it's not working out and you're still using it. You know, but when you become a redefined parent, it means that I would explain it with 4 letters. Now, the ARIW model. ARIW model. Now, A means that you need to acknowledge your status as a parent. Whether you are a managing director or a business person or whatever, you need to acknowledge your parenting status. Now, the second one is R, which means you need to recognize your potentials. What potentials do you have as a parent of becoming better? You need to recognize that. And the I, of course, talks about you identifying your abilities. What are your skill sets? What skill sets do you possess? You know, then we go to the W, which is very, very important, and that's your willingness to be able to correct your parenting weaknesses. You know, by the time we put all of this together, then you'll be able to say exactly that, okay, now this is the method of parenting I'm using. How do I become better? How do I redefine it? How do I fine-tune it? How do I reassess it? How do I reorganize it to rethink, you know, the present parenting style I'm using to become better.
So that's the ARIW.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what you're going to do for me. You're going to really break them down so we can have a better understanding, because all you did was give us the bullet points and a bit on it. So let's start from the A.
Okay, now starting from the A, you want to acknowledge your status. Now, many of us have different phases as a parent. Now, you could be a business person, you could be an intellectual person, you could be a religious leader. Sometimes we allow all those things to get into us, you know, and you forget the fact that you are a parent. For instance, when you're in a religious setting, you know, maybe you are in church, for example, and, you know, your child sees you in church. Your child sees the daddy or the mommy in you. But you are not seeing the daddy or the mommy in you. You are seeing the fact that you are a religious leader, as it were. You know, so, but when you're able to understand that your child may need something from you. I can remember a particular situation. I was to take a particular program in a church many years ago. Then my son was, I think, was about 5-year-old and took the car key from my bag and was walking up the altar. As far as the child was concerned, that's my mom.
And I'm going to meet my mom.
And I'm going to meet my mom. Then an usher ran and quickly grabbed the child. And he started crying. Now, definitely, as far as that child is concerned, that's my mom. I want my mom. I want to give her the car key, you know. But the same thing is not, I mean, it's not the same at that time because I had a role to play. Now, we need to understand these roles.
You know what we're going to do?
Yeah.
We're going to continue on this.
Okay.
But we need to take a quick break. All right, so we'll take this break and then, of course, the conversation continues right after. All right, we're still talking parenting right here on Wake Up Nigeria, and Biodun Odunukwe is still here, of course. Earlier, we were talking about the key to mommy situation.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry I had to interrupt you there to take that break, but let's take it up from there.
Now, I owe it to my child to ensure that after that scenario, I go back to the child and explain the situation. Now, it doesn't just end there. Now, if I decide to now get back home and still wear that cap of the religious leader, forgetting that it's a different ball game, there's going to be issues there. So many a time, it is important for us to acknowledge the fact that, okay, we may have a particular status, but that should not cause a barrier between our relationship with our children.
Okay, so that's for A, right?
That's for
acknowledging
A.
your role as a parent.
Exactly. Your status.
Your status as a parent.
Yes.
Now, R.
Now, R involves you recognizing your potentials. I mean, what are you capable? What are your capacities? What are you capable of becoming? How better do you want to become? Because sometimes, because of the fact that we are bothered with a lot of issues and all of that, we forget that fact. How can we become better parents? Most times we strive to become better managers, better scholars, better academic experts, better professionals at different things. And we do a lot in ensuring that we do trainings. Sometimes we have to go abroad, trying to grow ourselves, personal development. But how do we try to grow ourselves as parents? We could be superstars, we could be experts, we could be professionals in our career, but we could be failing as parents. So we need to recognize that and be able to have a balance therein. So that's what the R is talking about.
Okay, so we've acknowledged, we've recognized, and now I.
Yes, we are identifying our abilities. They are closely related, but now we are putting to use what we already know. We are putting to use. I'll give you an example. Last weekend, I hosted a female conference, and I invited a colleague to come and speak to the women. And of course, even though the conference was targeted towards the women, but there's no way we talk about the women and we not talk a little about parenting. And the guest speaker was mentioning some things, that he also expects us as women, as parents, to do. And when they mentioned a particular one, I don't want to be vulnerable here. When they mentioned a particular one, my mind went straight to my children. Unknown to me, my children, my teenagers, they were looking at me because they were in the hall as well.
Children do that. When something is mentioned in a gathering,
immediately,
you give your parents like...
Exactly, as if you were there. So we actually didn't talk on that day, but just yesterday we were having a chat. And my daughter is 12, and she said, Mom, the guest speaker was talking about so-and-so thing, and immediately she said so. My brother started looking at you right there. And I said, oh, do you know that? My mind went to you guys when you were, talking about that. To help other people at home, because we're talking about parenting, it has to do with yelling. It has to do with yelling. I know that as a parenting coach, I have learned that it is not good to yell. But it is one thing for you to yell. So I'm vulnerable here, and I'm intentionally vulnerable so that we can also help other people. Now, you may be a parenting expert, but you may not necessarily also be perfect in all areas. So we need to acknowledge that. So many a time, I know my yelling level used to be very high. At a point, it grew low because of the
Is it possible to grow low? If you yell, you have to yell with power.
Yeah, you will yell with power, yes. But when you are conscious of the fact that this yelling is not going to solve the problem, then you become intentional about, reducing what you do till it becomes,
the barest minimum.
The barest minimum. So I know that sometime last year, my daughter told me that, oh, Mommy, you're better now. You don't used to yell at us the way you were.
But
I
that
was so
didn't stop
excited.
them from giving you side eye.
Oh, yeah.
Because Mommy still yells.
Oh, yeah.
What is wrong with you? You should...
As a matter of fact, we were in the kitchen, and she just said, Mommy, to be honest, you were better last year than this year. You say that. Oh, no baton. You said that. When she said so, I said, okay, oh, really?
I said, wow, that's a feedback. And I took that as a feedback anyway. And she started telling me all the things that the brother was saying and all of that. But they were getting to me and I was like, oh, really? Immediately, I started thinking, what am I going to do? I have taken different trainings so far, but I realized that I also need to work on myself in that area to do more so that I can get to a point where when I get a feedback from them, it's going to be on a pass mark. So I have the ability in me. I know it is possible, you know, and I'm going to work towards it. Like I mentioned to her yesterday that, okay, just give me some time, I'm going to work. In fact, I had to communicate with the guest speaker and say, look at what the teenagers are talking about, and we laughed over it. So we need to get to that point. So all these things involve us redefining ourselves, giving ourselves a new meaning, giving ourselves a better meaning, giving ourselves a better way, you know, of doing our parenting so that our children and people around us will be happy with us.
Fantastic, fantastic. So we've gone through acknowledging, recognizing, and identifying. Now we go to the W.
Yeah, the W has to do with the weaknesses, actually. The willingness to correct the weaknesses. And I think that that's an aspect that many people, you know, do not like. Now, looking at your ability, the A, and your weaknesses. Now you want to ask yourself, there are some people that, there are some parents that don't even believe they have weaknesses or they ignore it. And it's causing a lot of problems, causing distractions in the home, causing relationship breakdowns, causing conflicts, you know. But when you're willing to acknowledge the fact that there is a weakness, then the problem is So, parents need to be willing, be determined, you know, to ensure that those weaknesses are dealt with. Once you are able to do that, I mean, we'll have a better relationship with our children. Because there's a scenario, there was the case of a particular, I mentioned it in my book, actually, a particular woman that drove a 2-year-old into the hospital, you know, to see the doctor. And the doctor asked, when last, a working class mom though, and the doctor asked, when last did this child have breakfast? And she said, please hold on. And she put a call to the housemaid. Then the doctor asked, when did this child have lunch?
Another
he said,
call.
please excuse me. And another call. When did this child have dinner? Just a minute. And this was a real life situation.
She's a working mom.
She's a working mom. But that notwithstanding, there should be checks and balances, you know. At that point, the doctor looked at her and said, are you sure you are the owner of you are the mother of this child? And she got angry, picked her baby and left.
With the child that is ill?
With the child that is ill.
Fantastic.
I mean, so we have different instances where people just refuse to accept the fact that they have weaknesses.
And that's why you say it's important to be willing to accept your weakness. So there you have it, ARIW. 4 points that will make you a fantastic parent. Thank you so much, Biodun Odunukwe, for being on the show today. Thank you so much. All right, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to head to the kitchen right now.
Okay.
Because we have breakfast for you.
Ooh, fantastic.
Chef Nyla, the lioness.
That's
in
interesting.
The Lion King. Even though she keeps saying she's not.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Are
Please
welcome. You are welcome.
Sit
Good
down.
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so Mary, you were here, so...
Yes, so Chef Nyla made us breakfast today. Fantastic. Yeah, so she made a parfait and she also made breakfast cereal with oats. Or rather with granola, because it isn't quite oats anymore.
It's upgraded.
Yeah.
Wow.
So which one would you like to try? The parfait or the
I'll do
cereal?
the parfait. I'll do the parfait.
Smart
Wait,
choice.
before we do that, you don't have any allergies, do you, to anything?
I don't. I had it on Saturday and I loved it.
Okay, fantastic. Just
Okay.
make sure.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
So,
You want to try it out?
please go ahead. Try it. We'd like to know what you make of it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, this granola is actually oats, right?
Yeah, so the base is oats with dried fruits and all natural flavoring.
Okay, so they can get this from you, right?
Nice.
Yes,
how do they hit you up on social media or something like that?
My Instagram handle is Chef Nyla.
Okay. Just that, Chef Nyla?
Chef Nyla.
Okay, so any inquiries you need to make, just hit her up on Instagram at Chef Nyla. So, what do you think about it?
All right.
She's busy.
No, she's
exactly. Parenting the parfait, I like that.
Wonderful.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
You're in the spirit. I like
Wonderful.
that.
So do you like it?
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
It is, it is.
Glad to know.
All right,
that.
it's been a wonderful show. Thank you to everyone who's been a part of the show. A big shout out to Homely NG for our kitchen accessories.
Yes, and to everyone who contributed to the show today, all our guests, the crew, thank you so much for watching, especially you. Tomorrow is another
It's another day, midweek episode of Wake Up Nigeria. You
Yes.
don't want to miss all of that. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.